जन जन को सुनाएंगे। अंधकार भरे जग में, अंधकार भरे जग में, ज्योति सबकी जगाएंगे। तेरी वाणी शिव बाबा, हम जन जन को सुनाएंगे। तेरी वाणी शिव बाबा, हम जन जन को सुनाएंगे। तेरी बहती अमृत धार करेगी सब पे वो उपकार। सुख भरा होगा संसार, सब में होगा अद्भुत प्यार। तेरा ज्ञान गूंजेगा जब, तेरा ज्ञान गूंजेगा जब, गुण तेरे सब गाएंगे। तेरी वाणी शिव बाबा, हम जन जन को सुनाएंगे। अंधकार भरे जग में, अंधकार भरे जग में, ज्योति सबकी जगाएंगे। तेरी वाणी शिव बाबा, हम जन जन को सुनाएंगे। तेरी वाणी शिव बाबा, हम जन जन को सुनाएंगे। तेरी वाणी शिव बाबा, हम जन जन को सुनाएंगे।
Om Shanti. Today we are continuing the yesterday's Murli with Tina Ben. Tina Ben, over to you.
Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. So you saw, did you see the slide? I don't know if you all added to the chat box what were some of the titles, if you could remember from yesterday. Baba really was talking about when you remember the lotus flower, you can remember that I am a detached observer, right? Sitting on the throne of unshakable seat of lotus flower, right? Ruhe Gulab was one, right? Yeah, very easy one, right? Ruhe Gulab. And then Swan was also very easy, right? He said, you're a holy swan. Yes. And then looking at the picture of Holi, he said, you belong to me, right? So that belongingness, I belong to Shiv Baba. So one other title, two other titles were remaining from yesterday's Murli. Amiben, would you please screen the Murli? Thank you.
Yes, I will do that.
So one other title that Baba reminds us today is that you are an enlightened soul. And he also says you're sensible soul. I know in India, I don't know if it is considered a big virtue, but in reality, being sensible is a very big virtue, right? Not everybody is sensible. Some can be very intellectual and very, knowledgeable. But जो बाबा कहते हैं समझदार है, sensible है, meaning when to say, what to say, how much to say. So that is one other quality that Baba is remembering. And the third title he's reminding us of is the title of being Master Almighty Authority. But that's all about titles, and after that the whole rest of the Murli is about service, and really some beautiful aspects of service Baba will touch. So we'll listen in Baba's words. It's the continuation of 16th of March 1992 Murli, and it says, you are the enlightened souls. Are you not? Enlightened soul means those who are sensible, and you understand all the three aspects of time, not just one aspect, but you understand all the three aspects of time. And this is why to celebrate Holi means to burn this mistake. Yesterday, Baba reminded us the mistake that we make is we forget what we should not forget and we remember what we should not remember. So he said, forget that which you remember and remember that which you forget. So forget the past, remember Baba. Don't remember the past and don't forget Baba. If it's confusing, I'm sorry, but it's very interesting how he played with words. So Baba said, Holi means to burn this mistake, to forget that which you have to forget in 1 second, which is the past, and to remember that which you have to remember in 1 second, which is Baba. The reason why you don't is that instead of a full stop, you put a question mark. You were told earlier, as soon as you think why, Q, a queue is formed like this, like that, why this happened, why it's like this, why it's not like that, etc. A big queue is formed simply by putting a question mark. And what will happen if you apply a full stop? You are a dot. Baba is a dot. And you also apply a dot to that which is wasteful. So when you say drama also, then instantly you put a dot to anything that is wasteful. So a full stop, Baba says, not just a stop, but a full stop. Just this is called Holi. And through this Holi, you constantly celebrate the Holi of celebrating a meeting with the Father and being colored by the company of the Father. Now I'm going to skip this paragraph because it's all about the same aspect that Baba is talking, color of his company and being with the Gopi Vallabh, which is Baba. And Baba says that is the fastest color. India में पहले के ज़माने में, not these days, but पहले ऐसा लगता था ना कि बहुत गहरा रंग लगाना चाहिए, निकले ही नहीं वो रंग. So fast color. So Baba is talking that this is the fastest color. There is no other color other than the company of the Father. And so Baba says, from today, burn the holy of it just happened. What can I do? I did not wish it to happen, but it just happened. Finish all of this. So one who is a master almighty authority can never have this even in his thoughts. It's a sign of being a slave, actually, when you say, मैं नहीं चाहता था, लेकिन हो गया. I didn't wanted to say this, but these words just came out of my mouth. I don't have controlling power, I don't have ruling power, which means I am a slave. I'm not a master. So Baba is saying, one who is a master, almighty authority, can never have this even in his thoughts. And now the whole aspect of service starts from this portion of the Murli. Baba says the double foreigners are moving forward in the expansion of service. You have love for the Father and also for service. Service means service of the self and service of all others. Service means service of the self as well as that of all other souls. So first is the self, because only those who have created their stage can remove many other souls from their difficult situations. I cannot serve others without serving myself. I cannot take care of others without first taking care of myself. So it's very important to really understand this aspect, that I am very important in the network of all the relationships and all the connections that I have, right? If you remove that I, then the network falls down. So that's why Baba is saying first is the self, and only those who have created their stage can remove many other souls from their difficult situations. Success in service is the stage of balance between the self and others. Do not ever say, I was very busy in service, and this is why the chart of my stage became slack. If you earn on one side and lose it on the other side, what is saved? Right? And I know some of you are businessmen in the group or businesswomen, right? And my dad is the businessman, so I know this from him, that I used to ask him, what do you do every night? He comes and he writes in his notebook something. And I said, why do you do this every night? He said, how will I know if I had a profit today or loss. So I said, okay, I understand profit and loss. What about the day when there is no profit, no loss? Vimesh Bhai, what would you call that day? Which would it go? Which column would you put it? Or anyone else can answer, actually. I just asked him because I know he's a businessman. Where would you put that day?
Which day, Tina Ben?
Hmm?
Which day? Can you please repeat?
I was saying that you are a businessman, right? So
Hmm.
the day when you have a profit, you say,
Hmm.
oh, I had a profit today. And the day
Hmm.
when you had some loss, you would say, I had a loss today.
Yeah.
But the day when you have no profit, no loss, what would you call that day?
I would call that day maybe as a waste day.
A waste day. You have
Yeah.
only two options, right?
Okay.
You would still call it,
Then I would call it as a loss.
yeah, you would still call it as a loss. For a
Yeah.
businessman,
Yeah.
profit is profit. If there
Yeah.
is no profit, then that
It's
is
a loss.
also a
Yeah.
loss, right? So
Yeah.
that's what Baba is saying, that on one side, suppose you're doing lot of seva for others, but you're not taking care of yourself, you're not doing your chart, you're not doing something. So what happens is you're earning on one side, but there is no earning on the other side. So there's no earning, that means it goes into the category of loss, right? And so this is what Baba is trying to bring our attention to, that you cannot say, oh, Baba, I was very busy in service and this is why the chart of my stage became slack. If you earn on one side and you lose it on the other side, what is saved then? And so एक तरफ सेवा करके बहुत जमा किया, लेकिन एक तरफ लॉस हुआ, तो माइनस और प्लसेस वो बैलेंस हो गया, राइट? खत्म हो गया, कुछ नहीं जमा हुआ. So what is saved? Nothing, right? So this is why just as Baba and you are combined, the body and the soul are combined, your future Vishnu form is combined, right? It's Lakshmi and Narayan together combined. So in the same way, let the service of the self and the service of all others be combined. So don't give too much significance to service of others over service of the self, or don't give too much significance to service of the self and just leave the service of others out, right? Do not separate them, Baba says. Otherwise, you have to make greater effort and receive less success. It will be incomplete, right? It will be cut by half, right? So 0.5% is coming from service of the self and 0.5 is coming from service of others. So if I get only zero point 0.5, basically I'm not getting the other half. So it will be cut by half, Baba is saying, which is not good, right? Therefore, it is good that you are moving forward with zeal and enthusiasm. In the chart of this group also, there are more in the second number. There are very few in the first, fourth, and fifth. I don't know where third went in this. So Baba just ate it or what? But so he's saying that basically there are few in the fourth category, there are few in the first category, but there are a lot more in the second number. You have reached the second number, but what precedes the second number? It is the first, is it not? So you have placed your foot in on the second number, but now you have to place your foot on the first number. And the method for that is to do service in the combined form. Children are making plans for service, are they not? Bab Dada gave a signal that according to the time, the service you have done up to now has been very good. Through this, you revealed Baba and yourself, and the atmosphere and the vibration were transformed. A large number of loving and cooperative souls in all four directions came close. Now, do such service that through one, many others are served. Basically, Baba is saying, create a mic, right? In simple terms. So when you create a mic, then that one person will bring thousands of others, right? You have to give the message to the entire world. Whilst you were giving a message to each soul, those souls who are to come into the kingdom created their fortune and have already come forward. Hmm? So when dadis and didis, they gave message to individual souls, they also created their fortune and they have come forward. But now Baba says the population of those who are to receive the message is greater than the emerged children who are to claim a right to the kingdom. Right? So if there are 5 children who, can somebody mute them? So if there are 5 children who are ready and who have claimed the right to the kingdom, then there are 500 who are not even served like that. So Baba is saying there is a larger population which has not yet received the message. Baba says both types of souls have emerged, those who are to come into the royal family and those who are to sit on the royal throne. All of you will claim a right to the kingdom, will you not? Or will the others who come claim a right to it? Who will claim the right? Will you claim it or will you make others claim it? What will you do? Now, if each one of you were given an option, what would you say to Baba? What would your answer be? Would you claim the right to the kingdom or will you make others claim the right to the kingdom? What will you do? Don't read the paragraph ahead. Just type your answer. Hmm? One time I heard Dadi Janki said that why should I create subjects? I will create more kings. I will create more emperors. I will create more queens. I will create more royal family. And they will then create the subjects, which will automatically be her subjects also, right? So that's what Baba is trying to say here. Who will claim the kingdom? Will you or will you make others claim it? What will you do? You will give others a chance too, will you not? And what will you become? You will make others into those who have a right to the kingdom. And so, what will you become? You will become even greater than they are, right? So, we will become greater than them because we have created royal family members, we have created royal kings and queens, right? And so, then they will create more subjects, they will create more others. So, that is very interesting concept, right? That I create the ones who will claim royal kingdom. So now, in order to enable the message to reach all 4 directions, bring such souls close so that one soul becomes an instrument for many souls. Only then will the speed of giving the message be fast. This is why Babdada gave you a signal earlier also that wherever there is the greatest population, now make such souls instruments. Whether in institutions or industries, both have a greater population. Then, by your making one soul worthy, he becomes your service companion. Right? So, if you're working in an industry or if you're working in institutions, then you make one friend of yours or one colleague of yours close to Baba. Let him come close to Baba. And then 2 of you can do more, right? So then, by your making one soul worthy, he becomes your service companion and then brings others close. You simply continue to give a message and move forward. Make them the instruments to give the message. Now, according to the stage of you souls, you will receive a ready made stage, right? You don't have to create a program or you don't have to create a flyer. Others will do. You just have to go and speak, right? So that is what Baba is saying. You have to create like that. Give others a chance to use their body, mind, and wealth for service. Now, those of you who are in an instrument position, or perhaps all of you are, I don't know, but do you feel comfortable in inspiring others to use their body, mind, and wealth for service? Hmm? Do you feel easy? Body तो हम बोल देते कर्मणा सेवा करने के लिए. Mind is also easy. Huh? Yes. Okay. You're saying yes. Okay. That's good. So it's very important for us to. I used to not feel comfortable at all, especially whenever it came to wealth. I used to feel very uncomfortable to tell anybody, to put something in Baba's box. I was like, if they want to do, they will do it. Why do I have to say? Right. And so, but eventually I learned, the significance of it. And so, one of the reasons today Baba is explaining that you have to give them the chance to use their body, mind, and wealth for service. Whether they use their body, their mind, or their wealth, it is only then that they will go into the subjects of the golden age. Hmm? So if they do not use anything, how will they go there? So Baba is saying, let them sow the seed. Help them basically to sow the seed. Because if they don't use their body, mind, or wealth for this task of establishment, then they cannot come into golden age. Right? So it's very important, even if they're a cooperative soul. Like, for example, now I even tell my brother who's not into Gyan, but I'll tell him, just put something, do something for Baba's yagya. So it's like you help them to sow the seeds, right? So then they will at least become subjects of the golden age. And of course, if they do more, they will become royal family members too, if they come close. But this is the first step. So Baba is saying, let them sow the seed. All of you have already sown the seeds. You are now receiving the fruit. Now prepare such a group that any of them can go for service and give a message in any direction for 1 or 2 months. And this is the time, I think, when they were making groups who would go to different countries and then give Baba's message, right? So Baba is saying at one time there should not just be one group, but prepare 7 to 8 groups at the same time and let each group go and do service in their own area. Whether it is a small country or a large country, prepare a group close by and send that group on service. However, the method of service that that group should have in their intellect is that they should awaken a main one who would then awaken others. So they should have this aim in their mind. They're not going there to create subjects, right? They are going there to create that one soul, to awaken that one soul who would then become instrument in creating many others. Hmm? So very important instruction that Baba is giving, or Srimad that he's giving in this for service. Prepare them there and continue to move forward. Whenever you wish to increase service, the first question that arises is, where will the hands come from? Will the hands come from the subtle region? Prepare such souls in every place and then give such souls who have been prepared and in whom there is hope, special time and training. Right? So first, you know how Kumaris or Kumars, they come to the center, or even other Kumars. I'm just giving you one little example. But first, they are, starting to have interest. And Didi will tell them, okay, you do little this seva, you do little bit that. And she finds there is hope in this soul. They can go forward. They have a lot of qualities. They have a lot of capacity. And so that's why then they're sent for special training, right? And so they do teachers training, or they do some form of training, right? SML training, whatnot is there, right? But basically you give them time and you give them training so that they can then continue from then onwards, right? I mean, I remember one time Moini Didi was sharing that Baba as teacher used to even teach them how to talk to a person. And even before you go to give a lecture or a speech or a session, you should ask if they are a doctor, if they're engineers, what are they? So accordingly then you can include elements of their profession in your speech. Literally Baba taught them these little things, right? And so we have to learn, we have to train these souls so then they can go and serve others. So Baba is saying, and those who are the instrument should continue to tour around. Right? So the main instrument can tour around and create more hands and then go to next place, create more hands and go to next place, like that. The old centers have now become strong, have they not? So tour around the new centers and make the new ones old. The method to make the hands worthy is to give them training from time to time, right? So you teach them little things time to time, and then they will be ready. Baba says in places that are close by, whether there are 8 or 10 souls, it is essential for them to receive training from time to time. Just as previously in Bharat too, sometimes there were youth groups prepared, sometimes education groups, and sometimes the doctors group. In the same way, prepare a group in the places which are still remaining and keep the aim that you must make someone from there an instrument, right? So if you go to serve doctors, then you have the aim कि इसमें एक तो ऐसा निकले जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट बन जाए अनेकों को लाने के लिए नजदीक, right? कोई कंपनी का कोई एक निकल जाए and then he can become instrument to bring many others, right? So your aim has to be very elevated in that sense, Baba is saying. Continue to make them instruments and continue to move forward. Hmm? Now you have very good connections and relationships. Everyone has a very good impression in their mind, and therefore, by your keeping this aim, you will find such cooperative souls, Baba is saying. Do you wish to come here after having held a conference, a yoga camp, or having given a lecture? No, it should not be this, but your aim should be that you have to prepare hands. Hmm? So if a group goes out, right, in foreign lands and they give a conference or they do a lecture or they do a boot camp or whatever, and then they come back, that is not what Baba wants them to do. He says you should prepare hands and then you can come back, right? So you have to go there with the aim that I want to prepare hands for Baba, right? Even if you first run that place as a Gita Patshala, gradually it will become a sub-center from a Gita Patshala and a center from a sub-center. But wherever any group goes, it is impossible for them to attain success without doing combined service. I remember Sister Jayanti used to say that in her initial days, she didn't have a lot of service to do. And so every 2 hours, for 30 minutes, she would sit in yoga, she said. And so that created her foundation, her stage. For so many days, she did that. And automatically, service expanded, she said. So I have to take care of myself. And then once my stage is created, automatically service will happen, right? So Baba is saying it's not possible to attain success if we don't do this combined service. Combined service means service of the self and service of the others. He says it should not be that you go to do service and when you come back, you say, oh, I faced Maya. My mood was put off. I became disturbed. It should not be like this. Because of this, the instrument souls are afraid to send you on service. Imagine a center coordinator tells you, oh, you sister XYZ, whatever, I'll take one name, Anshuban, you go and do this service. And you come back and you say, you know what happened there? I had so much problem. This was not good. This was... तो अगली बार वो 10 बार सोचेंगे ना आपको सेवा देने से पहले, because she doesn't want your stage to come down. The stage is so much more important than the seva. Hmm? So that's why Baba is saying this, that you have to take care of your stage. He says, because if you come and complain, then the instrument souls are afraid to send you on service. They will not have the courage. They have to think that perhaps whilst serving others, will you yourself not become slack? This is why you must underline this. The method for success in service or expansion is in service is the combined service of the self and others. So don't forget this word combined service today, right? Whole day, just hammer that in your mind that I have to do combined service. So Baba says, all the double foreigners have brought many letters of love and remembrance from many places. So Bab Dada received 3 types of letters. I actually wanted to give this as a homework yesterday. I completely forgot. I wanted you all to write a letter to Baba. Just like, few lines, like half a page letter. But I don't know if we can do it now. Maybe not, right? I don't know if everybody has a pen and paper. But anyway, you can think what you would write to Baba. Just think for seconds, few seconds. Don't read the screen, but just in your mind, you think what you would have written to Baba in that letter. सोच लिया सभी ने what you would have written to Baba? Okay, so then Baba is saying, Baba received a lot of letters and he saw three types of letters. One is a letter of extreme love and good news. Good news is usually news about service, right? The second is the news of the aim that they have kept of moving forward in their effort. That Baba, from today onwards, I will do this, I will do like this, I will do this, right? So this is like aim that they have kept for themselves to move forward in their effort. And the third is the news of those who are slightly mischievous every now and again. Baba, I became lazy and I missed my Amrit Vela. Baba, I ate little bit outside. So this is what? Third category, right? Slight mischievous every now and then. And so they're letting Baba know about it. So some have written one thing and others have written something else. However, now see Baba's response to your letters. Babdada responds to all who have written a letter always have a combined stage. That is, always remain in the combined form of Baba and I. Me or Baba, right? I and Baba together. Do combined service and constantly keep the full aim of the angelic form in front of you. So three things as Baba's response. He's saying one is you have a combined stage, May or Baba, Shiv Shakti form, combined stage. And then you do combined service. That means service of the self and service of others. And then third is you have the full aim of the angelic, that I am that angel. I am like Father Brahma, an angel in front of you. That's my aim, that I want to be like that. Baba says, today you are an effort maker and tomorrow you will be an angel. The angelic form should always be in front of you in the same way as your form is always in your consciousness, as your physical form, right? You know how your nose looks, how your ears look, right? So the physical form is always in front of you. Similarly, Baba is saying your angelic form should be in front of you in your consciousness. You never forget your physical form. So, just as you always remember your physical form, in the same way, your angelic form should clearly and constantly be in front of you. You're now about to become that. We were angels, we are angels, and we are the ones who have to become angels every kalpa. हम ही थे, हम ही है, और हम ही बनेंगे. Past, present, future, right? So continue to fly with courage, zeal, and enthusiasm. Baba says you write very well with an honest heart. This is a speciality of the double foreigners. You're very clear. You're not those who hide anything. So you're clear, and the meaning of being clear is that you is to be elevated. Double foreigners have very good power of checking themselves. Now keep the power to change yourself with you to the same extent, right? So if I check myself that, oh, I have this weakness, but I don't change it, then there's no use of that checking. So Baba is reminding them that you have to keep the power to change as well, to the same extent that you have the power to check. You do have it, Baba says, but you have the power of checking to a slightly greater extent. The power to change is slightly lacking. So keep a balance between these two. Just as you are clever in checking, if even something little happens, you relate it very clearly. So be clear and elevated, check and change. Do you understand? So this is for everyone, each one of us, right? That if I check something in myself, then I also use the power to change and I bring about that change. Everyone's letter has reached here. Give everyone this message, otherwise, they think that I sent a letter to Baba, but I did not receive a reply. You give love and remembrances from deep within your heart, and as you give them, you also receive them. Because we, Baba's children, we give our love and remembrance to Baba with lot of love from the depths of our heart. So that's why Baba is saying you also receive the return, the response of that love. You receive the return of it at that time. If someone writes about his weakness with an honest heart, then Baba, the ocean of forgiveness, forgives his weakness at that moment in return. So beautiful, no? I was really touched by this line because I thought, oh, I tell Baba my weakness and then it will take me days to, now finish it. I will be light, but it takes time. But what Baba is saying that instantly, in that moment itself, Baba forgives your weakness. And of course, you make effort, but you have that contentment in your heart that Baba has forgiven it, right? So it's easy to make new efforts. There's new zeal and enthusiasm there, right? So Baba says, do you understand? Bab Dada sees many cards and letters of love, and he gives so much love. He gives so much love with so much love. What? He gives so much time with so much love. Baba also gives time to read those cards, to look at those cards, and to give the response of those cards. So that's why he says he gives so much time with so much love. Those who give a gift are themselves a gift for the Father. To give a gift means to receive a lift. So you must not simply give a gift, but also receive a lift. Acha, there are many new ones in this group that have come. All those who have come here for the first time, raise your hands. All of you have received a chance to sit in the front. You have arrived here to receive your inheritance of the previous kalpa, and so Bapdada is welcoming you for that. He is giving you congratulations for the birthday of your new birth, new Brahmin birth. Acha. So then Baba's Yad Pyar to all those in all four directions who remain stable in the combined stage. Combined stage is I and Baba, right? Shiv Shakti form, togetherness. So, to all those in all four directions who remain stable in the combined stage, to those who constantly become the instruments and remain tireless in the combined service, service of the self and service of others, to the holy swan souls who constantly let the past be the past and who celebrate the holy of the color of the company of the Father, to the souls who remain in the happiness of the inheritance of all three aspects of time. Who remembers the inheritance of three aspects of time? To those who constantly remain a detached observer and observe the games of nature and Maya, to such constantly victorious souls who constantly have a flying stage, the elevated souls who experience their angelic form in front of them, Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste. So the three inheritances you remember. Now the inheritance we get in the present is the virtues and powers from Baba. And then after we die, Baba said after we leave the body, then there is land of liberation where we are very close to Baba, which is an inheritance. And then also when we come into the new body, he said you will receive Jivan Mukti as your inheritance. So that is the inheritance of three aspects of time. Cha Om Shanti. Whoever has time, afterwards as an homework can read this letter which was gone to the souls who have left Baba. And so Baba remembered those souls today in this Murli. And he said Dadi Prakashmani to write a letter to them. So it's a very sweet letter of love from God to all of them. So you can read later. Okay, let's take a moment of silence and then we can share.
Om Shanti. We can unmute ourselves and share the points of the Murli.
Om Shanti. I like this point in today's Murli. It is impossible to attain success without doing combined service, that is, service of self and service for others. So, the method to attain success is doing combined service. Om Shanti.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sister, here, service of self means, can you just elaborate a little bit? Service of self, what does it include?
Service of self includes basically creating your stage. So मुझे स्व की सेवा
Okay.
करनी है. So I have to take time for Murli. I have to make time to offer bhog. I have to make time to do my tapasya. You know, I have to make time to do mansa seva. So when I do all these things, which is not serving others, right? It's basically serving myself. So this is what Baba says. Like when I do Amrit Vela, that is serving myself. When I do Murli class properly, you know, I listen to the teacher nicely, then that is service of the self, where you are creating your stage. Swa ki seva karna hai hame. Right?
Thank
Does
you.
it make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you.
Mm. So this word cloud, you know, I thought it's interesting. I've just taken the last paragraph of the Yad Pyar, and then the main words from the Murli, from the second part of the Murli. And really what came out is this combined service that I need to do. And then Baba said, you have to have that balance. You have to have this instrument consciousness that I don't need to stay stuck at one place. I do the service, I create hands, and I move forward. But constantly, I have to pay attention to my stage, right? And when I remain in this constant combined form, then I can give Baba's message to everyone very easily. I can awaken souls, I can make them worthy, I can give them experience, I can do all of that. Okay.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Happy Navratri in North India. Today, relevance of Murli being combined forms. We are celebrating auspicious Navratri. And today's first one, that's Shalputri. She's holding two things. One is trident, that Trishul, other is lotus, Kamal. And it reflects our stage. We have to make our stage. And so much of rust was coming in Murli. I was all drenched. And one more thing, you were telling about how to tell people in abroad. Though I'd been knowing that people never say even about celibacy and giving those money or whatever, and they don't even put the Brahma Baba. Uh, what I feel ki more empowered, we make our stage, so we inspire others without even being telling them. And once I've done that practically, I have imbibed that in my essence, so that service will be done through me. If I've done that within, so powerfully I'll be generating those vibrations which will inspire them. Om Shanti.
Right. No, you're right. But I wasn't talking so much for the new ones. Even for old Brahmins, like when I do Murli class, I used to not. We had Gita Pathshala at our home back in Pune, and even then, I used to feel very uncomfortable to even speak about this topic. So I'm just telling you my personal um, experience with this whole thing of inspiring others to use their body, mind, and wealth. I used to think that it has to come from within. They should offer themselves, and then we can guide them. But Baba says that's not always true, right? Kisi kisi ki intellect is not uh, to that level where they can even realize that I should do something. So then you tell them, oh, would you like to wash the flowers? Would you like to do this? So then they will come forward and you create their fortune in that way. So that was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, very nicely, sister. you were telling, one of my friends, she's running a Gita Pathshala in Ambala, so they are having money. So she was telling me like she's doing that. She told me like money should be given to Madhuban for wheat services and other services. But yes, we are reluctant to say that, that audaciously, like you should be involved. But if I become a role model, if I myself involve in cleaning and helping hand,
Right,
so yeah, it inspires others. Om
right,
Shanti.
right, right.
The three types of letters also inspired me in today's Murli. That is to be delivered to Baba. That is the letter of extreme love and good news. And the other is the news they have to keep to themselves to move forward. And the third is the news who are of those who are slightly mischievous. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
new thing to me. Very nice.
right, right. And that's true, right? I mean, even if you see your own letter, it would fall in one of those categories. I was seeing Anshu Ben wrote here sincerest gratitude. That's basically first category, right? Um, and one time, Sister Jayanti had asked, imagine if you are on the stage in front of Bap Dada. So Baba has come, and you are in front of Baba. What will you say to Baba? Hmm? Is there anything you would say to Baba? Literally, see yourself in front of Bab Dada. What would you say to Baba?
The first thing which I would tell Baba is that, Baba, the kind of knowledge which you have given me, I have never sought it throughout my life. That is the education knowledge you have given me. I wouldn't have found it in anywhere. I'm sorry, anywhere.
Mm,
With love, with love.
mm. Yeah, it's interesting, everybody would have their own answers, and you don't have to tell me, but she said, I didn't know what to say. I just said thank you to Baba. When she, I think, first time went in front of Baba, perhaps, she didn't know what to say. And it's true, when you go in front of them, like even dadis, आपके मन में बहुत कुछ होता है, आप ये बोलोगे वो बोलोगे, but उनके सामने you just forget everything. And I had that experience with Dadi Jan ki I had so much in my mind, I want to say this to Dadi for sure. And when I went in front of her, very much blank I was. And so imagine in front of Baba, what would be your state? You would just say thank you
Sister,
perhaps.
I would share. When first time I went to meet Baba on stage, you won't believe it. When Dadi took me, Dadi Situ from Hapur, and she took me as like husband was doing great in his career. So she's Deputy Commandant's wife, but I had so much to tell Baba, but when I reached and I don't know what happened to me, I said, Baba, happy Holi. And I'm from army. And Baba was nodding. I felt what I did, I couldn't say anything. And it was so empowering, so pure energy that I all melted. And when I was climbing down the stairs, then people said, I said, I want to really now look more. I said, you have met him, but you don't know what to say. You just want to feel Baba.
Right, right. You won't be able to say anything. Just thank you. That's it perhaps.
One more thing I would like to share. In just last Sunday's buffer day, Vimish Bhai had, he had asked us to tell us about success. The same thing happened to me because I just couldn't open my mouth, because I had received so many things after coming into this university. My mind just became blank. I didn't know what to tell. I had achieved a lot.
Right, right, right.
Shanti. Yeah.
So like how
Yeah.
Tina Ben shared, na, that when there is too much to say, and if you want to encapsulate that in one term, all that will come out of your mouth will be thank you, nothing else. When you stand in front of Baba, or for that matter, any of the dadis or
Right.
gratitude that you'd have at that point of being there as a part of this yajna. So all that will come out is thank you, Baba. Thank you.
Remember, Rakiban said me to give you all a homework, and perhaps what you can do is write a letter of gratitude to Baba. No, don't tell him what he has done. He already knows that, you know, or what he should do, because he knows that also, right? Just a letter of love and gratitude. Write that to Baba today. And yes, happy Navratri to everyone. Rakiban, were you saying something?
Yeah,
Did I
so what I was
interrupt?
telling, no, Didi. There were 2 points in today's Murli. One is Baba says that you don't have to tell yourself that you want to become an angel. He says, आप तो फरिश्ता थे, फरिश्ता हो और फरिश्ता ही रहोगे. Just be in that state, So you have
Yeah.
to, that will make your efforts being effortless to be an angel. And then one other thing that Baba says is, Jesse, when the moment you say your weakness, Baba has forgiven you. But it's only
Yes.
we who keep chattering box in our own mind that अब मैं कैसे करूंगी? There's so much of conversation that we have of our own self. So what I got is when you are standing or you want to forgive yourself or forgive others, it is just happening in that moment. You don't have to think about it. It's spoken and given. So that is what I learned from this point today, that उसी moment पे आप forgive कर सकते हो.
And Baba also said that you don't need to remember the past. So even if I have that weakness or I did a mistake or whatever, I tell to Baba and then I forget about it. I let Baba take care of it and I just focus on what I have to do now rather than the past. So Baba says, don't remember what you need to forget.
And what you
True.
said, Tina Ben, what Raki Ben was saying, when we talk about what's written in the Murli today, that it says something and Baba forgives straight away. Can't, as as in the body consciousness that we are, we kind of take time to get related to that, because when we are in our body consciousness, it is not easy for us to forgive people
Yeah.
until we
Yeah.
develop this muscle over a period of time with this the gyan and the all the learnings that yes, just accept and forget. And if people also come in front of us and they say sorry, and we say okay, and they will say what okay? Yeah, you asked for forgiveness, and I said okay.
Yeah.
You say no, you're holding on to something, they will say. I said no, I do mean it. It's over. So
Right.
yeah. So
They also can't digest that you are okay with it. Right.
yeah,
They feel, how can they forgive? How
yeah,
can they forget? So yeah, I know what you're saying.
because the mind is conditioned for some kind of a battle coming up,
Right.
argument coming up, and then
Right.
when that doesn't
But
happen,
that actually allows you to do service. वो ही सेवा
exactly,
है.
exactly,
Yeah.
that's the seva.
Right.
Okay, Tina Ben, would you like to take up meditation now?
Yeah. Isn't it too late? I don't know.
No, it's only 6:24. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Let's do it then.
You are privileged to have that time. Don't worry.
Okay. Let's sit straight and let's bring our attention to the original awareness of being a Shiv Shakti. I have eternal relationship with Shiv Baba. Whether I am aware of that relationship or not through the 84 births that I have taken. But it is this fortune of the confluent sage that I have received where I am consciously aware and my heart has fully accepted the truth that I belong to Baba and Baba belongs to me. And we both can never be separated from each other. Just as much as Shakti is incomplete without Shiva, so is Shiva incomplete without Shakti. I remember this truth and I stabilize myself in the combined stage with my beloved Baba. And as I move through the day, as I come in connection with people, as I interact with other souls, I first go inside, and for a moment I become silent. I become soul conscious. I become a detached observer. And then, as an instrument, as Baba's instrument, I come in connection with others, knowing that I have allowed Baba to use me the way he wants to use me, knowing that I have allowed Baba to use me wherever he wants to use me. I just be an instrument. And I tell Baba, use me. And then I become a detached observer and watch the magic that God performs through me. So maintain this elevated consciousness. I am the same enlightened soul, the sensible one, the one who is awakened and is ready to awaken many others. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Tina Ben. Thank you, all of you. See you tomorrow. Wishing you a blissful day. Om Shanti.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.